Good evening, everybody. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. It's Sunday, so you guys know where I'm at. I'm in the Lion's Den for this Sunday evening show. Tonight, man, I am back in Missouri. With the team called Paranormal Pastime Investigations from Washington, Missouri. I'm not sure what corner that is in, but I'm going to find out here in a minute. Uh, Man, if you guys didn't catch last night's podcast, man, it was an epic show. The podcast that I hosted was Universal Paranormal Podcast Show, where man, different people from different parts of the paranormal community joined us. Man, we had a medium, we had a skeptic, we had a pastor, we had a paranormal investigator, we had a witch, man, and we had a demonologist. Can you guys picture all of those different personalities on one show? And guys, it was explosive. I tell you that we covered a different amount of topics. Uh, some of the things got heated, but we stayed cordial. We stayed respectful for one another because everybody has an opinion on what they believe in and so on and so on. So if you guys didn't get a chance to go check out that podcast, I urge you guys to zoom over to my NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast channel and check that out. Or if you guys are any on the other social media platforms that I podcast on. If you're on Kick, Rumble, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, uh, all you gotta do is look my name up, NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast, and you'll be able to catch that show from last night. Pretty interesting, educational for the most part. But with enough said, hey man, let's jump over. I'm trying to figure out how many miles it is from Texas to Missouri. How many hours is that? Probably about what? Let's see. It takes 10 hours to get out of Texas. So let me see. So what? 15-hour trip maybe to get there?
Think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, that very interesting. But with enough said, guys, introduce yourselves and introduce your team.
Okay, my name's Rich Desmond. This is my wife, Laura. We are with Paranormal Pastime Investigations.
I think we're kind of a little different, whereas our whole team is just family. So we can really rely on each other. We all have kind of a different outlook on things. And I think that kind of separates us a little bit because whenever we review evidence, we have no question if anybody's going to like change things up or tamper or anything like that. So it's nice to have kind of the family dynamic, and then we all already get along and know each other's ins and outs a little more.
Now, when you mention family, is it son, daughter, aunt, uncle, cousin?
Well, my stepmother goes with us. My sister goes with us. Sometimes her parents will go with us.
Wow.
Our daughter just turned 20.
Our kids are really interested.
Yeah, she's gone with us. Both of my older sons have gone with us, and did a couple of investigations. So,
Richard, how did you pull the mother-in-law? Man, you got it going on up there. Wow. I mean, I would not, dude. I would never ever would have asked my mother-in-law to do so. No, she'll hit me upside the head with a frying pan and just tell me to get out of the kitchen if I even brought that up. But man, you got to tell me how that worked out for you. I'm curious to know, man. But hey, guys, keep those thoughts. We're gonna take a short minute and pay some bills, and I'll be right back.
Who is it you think you see? Do you know how much I make a year? I mean, even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. Do you know what would happen if I suddenly decided to stop going into work? A business big enough that it could be listed on the NASDAQ goes belly up. Disappears. It ceases to exist without me. No, you clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No, I am the one who knocks.
All right, welcome back to the show, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Tonight, you are in the Lion's Den Sunday evening, and tonight we have Rich and Laura Desmond from Washington, Missouri, with the team called Paranormal Pastime Investigations. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing great. Hey, man, the first thing I have to ask, dude. Where did you get the name from, and why did you come up with a name Pastime on it?
It kind of started out, we knew we were really interested in it, but it was going to be more of a hobby than a job. So I kind of came up with that, looking at it in that respect, that we love to do it, but it's only going to be a pastime on the weekends.
Mm, okay. Uh, let's jump right into it, guys.
Okay.
Rich, how do you get your mother-in-law to come along with you, man? You just had to know that was the first question I was going to ask you.
She actually is just really interested, and it's a way for her to be able to go and participate and to see some of this stuff.
I think we're all history nerds too.
Yeah.
So we love going to the older locations and doing research, learning about the places.
Mm-hmm.
And I drive, so she's fine as long as I'm driving. Everybody's good.
Long as she drives. Now, is mom married? Is she married, or she is by herself?
Whose mom? My mom or her
No,
mom?
her mom, the one that goes with you guys.
They're married. Yeah.
How does he feel about what she is when she goes along with you on an investigations?
He's all for it.
Yeah.
He actually went with us a couple times when he was a little younger, but he says he's not really much help anymore because his hearing's so bad.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And
he gets the feedback from everybody and all the stuff we get. So
and mom, and you say mom really enjoys it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, now what do you think grandma would say if they found out that her granddaughter and her daughter were investigating, spirits, ghosts, and whatever comes along with it?
I think it's kind of been in our family for a while, so she might ask to come along too, honestly, if she was still with us.
But you know what? That would have been an iconic sight to have daughter, mom, grandmother going on an investigation. Wouldn't that be something special for you guys?
Yeah, we've actually had 3 generations with my mom, me, and my stepdaughter, so it has been done.
Wow, that is amazing. All right, tell me a little bit about Washington, Missouri. Haven't I don't think I've heard of it. Is it a small town? Is it a small community, or is it a growing city?
It's a small town. 4,000,
14.
14,000 people.
Mhm.
We're about 45 minutes west of St. Louis, just off of 44.
On the Missouri
Okay.
River. So it's a river
Yeah.
town.
So we're right on the Missouri River. We're probably 4 blocks away from the river, 4 or 5 blocks away. So
Oh wow.
It's got a really nice downtown area. They really keep up with things, have lots of festivals in town. We're kind of in an area with a lot of wineries. So just down the road is Herman, Missouri, and they have Oktoberfest there every year. So there's quite a bit to do to keep you entertained.
My family has lived here. My great grandmother moved here, and with my grandfather, and she was a first grade teacher in this town when it was just a small schoolhouse, the smaller schoolhouses. So I get a lot of these older people that know my name, and they go, "Oh, were you Grace's? Are you related to Grace?" And like, she was mean. She was a mean first grade teacher.
Well, back in them days, you had to, man, because you got hard headed kids running around. Today's, I don't even want to talk about today's teachers, man. Woo, boy,
Actually, my oldest son is a teacher, so
it it seems like the kids run the show more than the teacher does, and I just cannot get past that at all. I mean, I grew up where we got paddled when we did something wrong.
yep,
You know, these day and age, the things you seeing on TV is unbelievable. You
yep,
know, if you take away the iPhones and electronics and let these kids learn something from a book, maybe, just maybe, they might learn something. You know, because I always have people are, I always have. I tell my kids this all the time. You know, my kids always ask me, Dad, when you going on vacation? You need to take a vacation, dude. And and do you know what I tell them? I tell them every time I open up a book, it's no telling where I might end up at.
Very true.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? You might end up in Ireland or some distant lands. So you don't necessarily have to travel physically on an airplane. Just open up a book and let your imagination take you away. It can't
yep.
get no more, and it's cheaper that way too. You know what I'm saying? But hey, but guys, Washington, Missouri, a town of 14,000 people. Everybody know everybody.
Yep.
Does everybody know what you guys do?
Some, not everybody. Some.
Now, how does the community react to you guys when they see you at the grocery store, or you have your your team shirt on, or you holding an event? How do they come at you guys?
It's
More people seem to have questions than it's not anybody's ever been mean or anything like that. They always are
Hmm.
asking if you've got an investigation coming up or if there's a way they could get in and join in. And that's what we get asked the most, I think, is if
yeah,
we're taking members.
Are you guys?
We try and just keep it family. So
Is that y'all's main goal? Keep it family. I
yeah.
mean,
I think so.
that's
It's
just our style.
okay, totally respect that one.
It kind of
Totally. So, with the community, the backing of the community that you guys have, uh, what do you guys do to promote your brand? And when you're out there in the public, just give me the rundown. If you guys were ever invited to a, let's say, for example, Oktoberfest, or a meet and greet that you guys might want to hold at a brewery or a winery.
we really haven't explored that. It's mostly just going out and doing our own little thing, and
We have done, we've had people reach out. We've done some local cases for homeowners and stuff, and everyone's had really good, like perspective, I guess like you would say. They've been happy with the results we've given them, and they've talked to other family, friends, and passed the word on. So that's kind of our biggest way of getting our name out there.
What is the okay? What is the biggest concern that you have about Washington, Missouri?
I don't know. That's a good
Yeah,
question. We are growing pretty rapidly, so I
Hmm.
guess kind of losing the small town feel might start happening sooner than we would like. But overall, it's a good place to live.
Okay. When was Washington, Missouri established?
Oh, good
Early
question.
1800s, I
Yeah,
think.
1800s. Okay.
early.
Some of the
Wow.
churches have like 1817, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Old churches.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And man, how does the your community feel about what you got? When I mean community, I mean the church community. How do they
Um,
feel about you guys?
we've talked to some people that it kind of we've found it has to vary more with denomination. So
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
had some he's talked to some Baptist people that don't agree with it at all and think that if you're reaching out to anything, it's automatically negative. But then we talk to Catholics and they're more open to the idea of the spiritual realm and that sort of thing. So we've kind of seen both sides of it. Some people are more open to it than others.
Interesting. You guys aren't in the Bible Belt, so there's not a church on every corner in your community, is it?
It's a big Catholic. Uh,
It's like a German
it's a
Catholic.
German. Yeah, it was established German. So there's a lot of German immigrants that came in. It's a lot of Catholic. There's a couple of Lutherans, and there is some Baptist, and then there's
But I lived in
it's
Kentucky for a while and know it's nothing like
yeah.
the Bible Belt.
Yeah, boy. Hey, that line runs all the way South Texas. I think it starts in Texas, then runs its way east all the way up the coast. I'm not for sure where it ends at. I will want to say either Kentucky or oh man.
Maybe Virginia, West Virginia,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I'm thinking it might end up there. I'm not sure. If somebody in the group chat can tell me where exactly does the Bible Belt ends, I would gladly appreciate it. Uh, Arkansas. I,
Arkansas.
I don't think it ends in Arkansas, bro. It might run through there, but I don't think it ends there, Dan. But nice one. Okay. Uh, Tell me a little bit about your team. Does everybody have a very specific job that they do when they're on a vacation, or you guys pick and choose what you want when you guys get there?
Well, he was our resident skeptic, but I think we've had enough happen now. He's a little less skeptic, but
Yeah, I still question a lot,
Mm.
but
his sister's big on photography. So when we're out doing investigative work, she's our resident photographer. I like to do the research.
Yep.
And my mother-in-law, she kind of just jumps in and does whatever. She's all hands on.
Hey, we're not gonna argue with mom. What mom wants, that's what she gets. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Well, you know what? Man, and how many are there, y'all?
Well, four of us consistently, sometimes up to six,
Up to
if it goes
six.
up with us.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of the locations that you guys have been involved in and you guys have investigated.
One of the coolest ones around here, so St. Louis, obviously, Budweiser Brewing Company. There was a smaller brewery in town that was a relative to the Budweiser family. Their last name's Bush. They had a smaller facility in Washington, and that location, the brewery, is very haunted. We have investigated there numerous times.
Wait, so little history lesson for me because I did not know. So Bush and Budweiser are two different entities.
Well, the Bush family started
Anheuser. It was
Anheuser
Anheuser-Busch.
It was Anheuser-Busch at first, right? And they
Well,
produced Budweiser.
Correct.
Yep.
And they were and there was a smaller company named Bush.
It was his brother. It was actually his brother.
Ah.
In Washington.
So he started one out here, and it was like before the Civil War. He had this.
And there was Confederate soldiers moving through. I think General Marmaduke's troops came through town. They, of course,
They got drunk.
They took the brewery over.
Yeah, they took the brewery.
There's a cave that they stored the beer in to keep it cold, and all the guys slept in the cave, drank the beer. Then what they didn't drink, they dropped into Bush Creek and then left town after
Damn,
all the anyway.
All the fish got drunk that night, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that is because I didn't know that. I just thought Budweiser when I didn't know there was two brothers that was doing that. That's very interesting. Uh, Man, because I drink a lot of Bush beer. I'm kidding. I mean, I drink Bush beer. I mean, it's cheaper, and I just think it's the taste between the two is not too much of a difference. I think they use the same kind of recipe, just the different names.
Well, they also produce natural light too.
Yeah, I use that for catfish bait.
That's good catfish bait, probably.
Yeah, I charm my catfish bait with natural light. Never had the required taste to drink it. It was real cheap. You know, I'm not gonna waste Bush or Budweiser. So I'm like, okay, I need something to soft my catfish chum. I just go buy maybe a couple cans of beer and just throw in there, put the lid on it, and let it sit for like a month. By then, everything started bubbling up, and I guarantee you don't want to open up that top because it smells horrible. But yeah, okay, cool, great little history lesson. Now, you said which of the breweries was really haunted?
The one in
The
Washington.
one in Washington. Yep.
Is that a museum now?
Actually, the house is actually the VFW.
And the brewery itself is a wedding venue.
Yep.
Oh wow! So what are we looking at square footage wise for the venue?
It's 2 floors. There's a bar downstairs, a bar upstairs. The cave you can still go into, and that's where they have the wedding ceremonies. Is in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really large facility.
Yeah,
I couldn't even guess
big.
square footage.
Is any of the is any of the manufacturing stuff is in there, or they removed all of it?
No, they've taken all of that out.
You can still kind of tell the vat room where they brewed the beer. It's got scaffolding, and it's a really super tall, right in the center of the building, multiple floors up, open air.
Yep.
So
Man, wow! I bet your beer is cheap up there.
probably they don't have to ship it far.
No, they sure don't. Guys, all right, nice little history lesson because I did not know. Are you guys a big fan of urban legends in your community?
We don't really have that many
Yeah.
that I've ever been told.
Not in this area.
So there's none that you guys actually caught your attention and you were like, man, I don't know if this is real or not. I would love to go investigate it and check it out.
Actually, what's the trail over there in Wildwood?
Oh, Zombie Road.
Zombie Road. Yeah, that's right.
There's a place probably like 20 miles from here that was an old town, basically turned into a ghost town, and they took the buildings down and took the road out, but they paved a trail that you can walk back through, and people sees people in the trees, and like if you're there, you're supposed to not be there after dark, obviously, but you hear stories if people are that they feel like they're being followed. They hear sounds, they see people. I've seen some photographs of looks like silhouettes of people in the tree line. So that's a pretty spooky place.
Okay. Uh, do you guys have any historical sites that you guys can go investigate? And the historical society won't give you guys a big hassle about it because they just as curious as you are.
One place that it took what over 10 years to get into, there's a large home downtown called Elijah McLean's. He was a doctor in town here and had this basically a mansion built. It's got the cupola on top. It overlooks the river. I think it was a Gothic revival style build. And it was for sale forever. It had been a restaurant at one time, and I had been sending letters to the realtors, to anyone I could think of to try and get a name for a contact to see if we could get in there to investigate. Because we've heard claims for years that when it was the restaurant, people would get scared out of rooms. They'd hear footsteps chasing them down the hall, silverware getting thrown,
Yep.
all sorts of stuff. And finally it sold, and I got a hold of the new owner, and they were open to us coming in to investigate because they were curious themselves. So
Mm.
a year ago, we finally got in there and got some pretty good EVPs. Lots of we had disembodied voices, footsteps. It was a pretty interesting night.
Yep.
So, what are they going to do with the property? Airbnb or
It's actually a wedding venue. They talked about putting in a
restaurant.
restaurant in, but that hasn't really come to fruition.
We have a lot of wedding venues here.
So, Missouri is a good place to get married at, huh?
Supposedly.
Apparently.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Open for questions. Right. I got a question for you guys. Are you guys able to see the questions below?
Mhm.
Yep. So, what kind of equipment do you use for your paranormal investigations? We have a lot of different stuff. We started using blink cameras if there's any place that had Wi-Fi, because we had come across some people that were using them, and they actually got a shadow
figure.
a shadow figure with
No one
it.
was in the building, and it got picked up.
It got picked up by that. So that's it's a little bit easier than having to string out cameras and
Run cables.
and everything. So we use those.
I think the Spirit Box is my favorite.
Spirit
device.
Box. We have an SLS.
I also do a lot of dowsing.
Okay.
I know a lot of people aren't keen on that, but I found out my great uncle was called a water witch back in the day because he doused for people to find wells. So I tried it at one event we were at, and it really seemed to work with me. And I've got some really cool responses and interactions with it. So I enjoy doing that.
Now and to be honest with you, I heard a lot of people doing that in the Western days. Do you guys think that really works when you're hunting for water?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it works with some of the spirits. So
You found lots of wells, is what I was told as a child. So
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, here you go.
do we have an ovulus? No, that is one thing she really wants.
Mm. Uh, you know, where did I see one of those things at? I know those things get pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But I seen one on eBay. It was used. I think the guy was asking like 275 for it, or something a little bit cheaper
that's
than that.
very cool.
Yeah.
Hmm?
That's really reasonable price. Yeah.
Yeah.
We use a lot of Ghost Stop.
And Ghost of St. Augustine, they have a shop as well, so we get a lot of gear through them too.
We do have, what's the name of that thing? We just get that box that we have. I'm blanking the name of it. That we hook
Yeah, it's a Paraforce product.
Yeah, we have I'm blanking the name of it, but it's a box. We hook up our spirit box to it, and it filters out a lot of the static. So
wow.
It makes it a little clearer.
You can tweak the settings on it to bring the voices more to the forefront and drown the background noise.
Okay, man. I'm gonna have to come borrow some equipment. What is the? I see. What is the? If you guys had a concern about the way the paranormal field is going, uh, what would you say about it? And what do you think needs to be done about it? It could be negative or positive.
One of the things, I mean, I see a lot of these shows and stuff coming out that it's almost like they're just trying to take advantage of the popularity.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've been to a lot of places. We've been to a lot of places. Yeah, not everything's a demon. Not
everything.
And we've been to a lot of places, and you don't always get stuff. You don't always,
Mm-hmm.
We went on vacation one time, and on our way back, we stayed at the Myrtles Plantation in Mississippi. Supposed to be one of the most haunted places around.
It was in Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. So, and we didn't get anything. So, I mean, we could have, look at this. All I got was the, cramps from being on that small bed. That's about all it was. So,
yeah, I think Chloe was on vacation when you guys came and visited.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy because we've always talked about the wrongs and the rights of, you know, being in a paranormal field. But the one thing that gets me, and everybody does it, and most of the people that are doing it can't help but do it because we need it. And that's all these uh, people like the owners of Ghost Stop and so many different types of people that sell devices. And we really don't know. I mean, people say that they might have been, tested, but do we really know that they really work? So we're really taking a chance on spending our hard earned money that some of us don't have. I know I ain't got it. I'm a poor man. And test these things out and come to find, and when you get it, you test it and you're not happy with it.
Yeah.
But
I actually got go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's yours.
I bought a REM pod one time and went to check it out, and it would not trigger no matter what I did. So I took a video of me trying to set it off and sent it back in, and they actually shipped me a brand new one like 2 days later, and that one worked. So there are going to be things that fail.
Yeah, things that fail, things that people, and I'll be honest with you guys, that is the quickest way to make a buck.
Yeah.
You can put a device together. People don't know it works. You can set up a little demonstration, but demonstrations are easy to do these days. Somebody likes it. You set up a little Cash App thing where you send me the money, I'll ship it off to you, and not knowing that it works or not. Hell, it doesn't matter because they got their money and they know it don't work. So that's all that matters. To me, I mean, I think that some of them are just preying on us because we know we're going to do whatever it takes to get that evidence. No matter, sometimes people spend thousands of dollars on equipment. to get that evidence, and they know that we cannot get that money back no matter what. And even if they send us a new one, there's no guarantee that that thing's going to work like the first one.
We're kind of,
It,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, kind of in their hands at that point.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, all right. Here we go.
Come check out the newest largest place in Missouri to investigate.
Hmm.
What is that?
Yeah, where's that?
Come on, Dan. Where is that at? Hell, I might want to go.
Is it Beatty?
Okay. Well, he's trying to figure it out.
The Pythian Castle's wonderful.
Emmaus actually is. We
We
live across the river from it.
We've been talking to them already.
Yeah, we've already talked to them. Actually, right now they're doing
Almost like a
for Halloween. They're doing like tours, history paranormal tour right now. So
So we're hoping they're going to be open to the idea once they're done with their Halloween season of opening up to private investigations.
Now, speaking of ghost tours, is there one in Washington, Missouri?
The Historical Society usually does like a tram tour close to Halloween, but we don't have one that's like a weekend thing all year round.
Rich have an idea in his head. It's like maybe we should do a ghost tour.
There are quite a few places in town.
there are.
There's a corncob pipe factory downtown that is still in business, and it's supposedly haunted as well.
It's the Meerschaum corncob pipe company.
And how do you think the community would feel if you guys did start a ghost tour?
It actually the history place say, and the History Society. Oh, Dan just signed with a contract with them. Huh, okay. Oh. All right. Well, sounds good. So, but the Historical Society has actually, every time they do their tour, it sells out pretty quick.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of people. I find that a lot of people are interested in it, but they don't want to get too much into it because
they want to kind of check it out at a distance.
They're like, you're crazy. You're crazy. You know, why? How are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So
it's weird. I mean, it seems like people, they want to take that step. The reason why they want to take that step because they've seen shows on Hollywood and they think that everything that Hollywood shows them, that's how it is in regular paranormal investigating. And people need to understand, dude, it is grueling.
Yeah.
It's time consuming. It's hot. You get attacked by bugs. And and at sometimes you just don't you just don't want to be bothered. Like you say, Laura, you might not get nothing that day. It might be you spend 3 or 4 hours in a location and might not get nothing.
Yep.
Oh, okay. What's up, Mid Missouri? How you guys doing over there? See, all the teams from Missouri are popping in.
Yep.
Katie Trails, what's up? How you doing? Glad to have you on the show. Hey, you guys come check this team out, man. Come show some love. Make sure you guys go to their Facebook page and get those numbers up.
All right, Dan. We'll check that out. Yeah,
thanks for the info.
Yep.
We were talking about helping with the tours of the Emmaus, but we had already had multiple weekends booked already, so it didn't work out this year.
Wow. Okay. Let's go back in history for a minute. I mean, we're going to go back 1700s, where the Native Americans was doing their thing up there. Uh, have you guys encountered anything Native American on any like on properties, or you just happen to be walking around and you just like, wow, wow, that gust of wind, man, it could be a native, or you hear a Native American drums, something that's out of the ordinary. Do you guys hear any of that in the forest, or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere?
We did hear some weird things in the woods when we were in Brumley, Missouri, at a place called the Haunted Castle House. Um, they have multiple graveyards on the property, and they also had a Civil War camp down just past their property, and we heard weird sounds coming up the hill from down there. But Native American per se, I haven't encountered that.
I don't think so.
Interesting. Okay. Something bit me. Now, if anything come afoot, would you guys go investigate it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always
Definitely.
yeah.
I'm always up to new locations.
Right, right. All right, Dan's reaching out to you guys.
We have our Facebook page. We have a website, but
Yeah,
it
it's
hasn't
just
really
kind of a
been.
placeholder.
Yeah, hasn't really. We don't really update it much, but yeah, if you look up Paranormal Pastime Investigations on Facebook, that's where we get a lot of our.
We respond to messages
Yeah,
pretty quick.
we get a lot of information. People contacting us there. So
Hey, I called them.
yeah,
They probably thought I was a bill collector or something. Who is this guy from Texas calling me? The 512 area code.
you were actually in my ear, and I was working, and you
Hey,
got
that's right. And I'm like, what the hell?
I was talking to the FedEx lady.
Yeah, you're actually right. All right. Well, Dan, appreciate it, man. Make sure you go over there and check these guys out, man. Let's get these numbers up for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get these numbers up, guys. Let's talk about what's the youngest of all your investigators on your team?
Well, right now it's 20.
Yep.
20.
Our daughter just turned 20, so.
Okay, she's 20, and what does her friends think about what you guys do?
That she's crazy.
She's crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
The bugs and bats and not knowing what you're definitely going to encounter, they think she's braver than they, I guess.
Well, I mean, hey, there's women out there, man. There are unbelievable women out there doing unbelievable things by themselves. Man, I ran across so many women that came on the show, from the ghost biker girl to girl ghosting girls, and all these women are paranormal investigators, and they do it by themselves. And I tell you what, if I was married to any of those women and they were doing it by themselves, I would be hella nervous. But they handle their own. I mean, they get the job done. I mean, these women go into some of the most haunted locations in Tennessee, in Kentucky, uh, Arkansas. I mean, these women are doing unbelievable things. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold up. Let's see what we got here.
October 30th of the word podcast.
Interesting. Oh man, I would love to come down there with you guys.
Where is that college at?
Laredo College, if I'm right, man, it's in South Texas. I mean, it can't get no southern than that unless you're going to Mexico. So yeah, it's way down south. But those guys are, hey man, that team there, unbelievable. Uh, uh, they do a lot of stuff. and they do a lot of stuff for their community down there. That's why I got so much respect for them, what they're doing, and and as they investigate, they also educate,
Mhm.
and they deal with the school system a lot. So those guys down there doing great things. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? All right, guys. Hey, what's the future? What's the future for paranormal pastime investigations?
I've got a long list of places I still want to go to, so
Yep.
we're gonna hopefully get to checking more places off the list.
Okay. Uh, Unlike me, I'm a poor man. I can't afford to go to into these big locations that a lot of people has wanted to advertise. Man, oh dude, you go in, man, you give me $800 of your earned hard money, and you can go in and investigate for 5 hours.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
like, oh hell no, Joe Boo, I ain't paying $800 for 5 hours for nobody. Are you guys willing to spend that type of money to go in a location like that?
On occasion we have, but a lot of times we tend to look for events and buy admission through those and piggyback on to some other larger groups where they pull
Mm,
more people. So once it's split up, it's a little more manageably
a little bit
priced.
more manageable. I feel you on that. Uh, Ultimately, what exactly does paranormal pastime investigation? What kind of investigations do you guys want to focus on? When I call you up and I say, "Hey, I got something going on," I just want to make sure that you guys are able to handle any situation that would come available if I need to call you guys.
I really hope that we can focus more on private residence investigations rather than just like the big locations everybody knows about. We've had a couple cases where we've been able to help people out, and it really feels rewarding. So
Yeah.
I hope that we can come across paths with some people that really need some help again.
Okay. Now, when I mean what kind of paranormal team you guys want to be, I was trying to see if you, because there's many different levels to this thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and maybe you guys want to pick, out of the four I'm gonna talk to you guys about. One, you guys can be just a paranormal team that go in and validate. You can be a validation team. Two, you can go in and validate, and if there's something there that the individual wants to get rid of, you guys are able to do that. Three, you can do all two plus be able to handle something a little bit more demonic or dark, as some would say. You guys would be able to handle that. Or four, you can dive into all four and be able to handle all four situations if need to be. Or if you can't, you can call someone that can help you, a priest that can help you come in and do what they need to do for the location or for the individual at hand.
So we have done scenario number one. We've gone into a home, validated who was there, and it wasn't someone that it was somebody they actually knew, so they weren't fearful of
Yeah.
just letting them
It wasn't.
stay
It
at the
wasn't
property.
malicious. Yeah. No malicious.
We've
intent.
had a second case where we found out who was haunting the house. They wanted them gone. So I contacted a medium I know, and she went there and met with the family and crossed that person over. And family has, as far as we know, not had any issues since. They were going to reach out to us if they did, and we haven't heard from them. So as far as demonic, we kind of try and steer clear of that if possible. We both have pretty strong faith, but we don't want to open ourselves up to bad situations that you may not be able to take care of yourself.
Okay. How do you guys feel about cemeteries? A lot of people saying there's nothing at a cemetery. Just go where you go put your body in the ground. Nobody comes there to investigate. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When it's my time, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna visit my body as much as I can. As handsome as I am, I cannot forget this face. So I gotta come back and visit, even though it might not look the same. But I know it's what this face looks like. So I gotta come back and visit.
I have had a medium tell me that she never sees anyone in cemeteries because they're all going to see their loved ones and they aren't going to want to just sit where nobody's at. But there's been other instances where we've heard and seen people that capture evidence in them. So I don't know that you can say 100% one or the other. It may just depend on the situation or the scenario.
Oh wow, really? You know what, guys? I am gonna send you guys. Normally, I've been trying to figure this out, man. How to send pictures on my computer so you guys can see, and so that the world can see what I'm showing you guys. But if you give me a minute, I'm gonna send you two pictures that I captured in a cemetery, and I want you guys to think. Tell me what you think about them, and because I'm curious to know when I send these out, I'm just curious to know on what people think about them. So give me a minute, and I'm gonna send these pictures to you.
Okay.
Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's see here. And this is some of the best evidence I've ever caught in a cemetery. Mm, okay, not that one. Where did they go? I know you here. So I'm going to send you that one. And I am going to send you this one. Okay. All right, guys. I just sent you guys two pictures. Tell me what you think about them.
There.
Feel free to blow them up. Do whatever you need to do.
What we're doing here. She's got the better eyesight
Okay.
and the better hearing.
Mm,
Yeah. And I was in a cemetery.
yes, sir.
Gravestone.
Yeah. Like coming out behind a tree.
Yeah, is it like something's poking out from behind a tree?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's totally different color than the tree bark too. So that's
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yep.
yeah, you had a little somebody pop in on you.
Yeah, and the lady in the tree
Hmm.
in the all white dress.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm puzzled on why she even hanging in a tree anyway. You know what I'm saying? All the places.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah, feel free to share those with everybody, see what they think. But I mean, oh my god, dude. Uh, Cemeteries. There's a big debate on it, man. Where people, I mean, do they come and go? I don't know because I've captured evidence with these guys hanging around. They're uh, I guess it's where they're buried at. I don't know. But I've captured those two. So I'm kind of leaning towards, well, maybe they do go back and hang out and eat milk and cookies with their loved ones. I mean, hell, I would do it. But
Part,
it's I don't
part of
know.
the part of the prep that we do sometimes, like when we did Elijah McClain's, we went to the cemetery where they were and kind of walked around, kind of talked,
Went and
and
gave them a bouquet of flowers
yep.
for the family before we went to investigate, just to see if that kind of made a connection.
So I mean, there's things. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, right? So
No, it doesn't hurt. Now,
so
let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys have any of those cat balls by chance?
No.
Oh,
Well, we do for our
for a
cat.
cat,
We haven't used them to investigate.
so you guys don't use cat balls or any of small motion detection devices like that, like everybody else is using?
we use some stuff, but
We took I spray painted some buttons with glow in the dark paint, and you just charge them with your flashlight. So if somebody wants to throw something, it's something lightweight that they could manipulate, but I don't have anything that turns on when it's well, we have like REM pods and stuff, but nothing like the cat balls.
Now, why do you guys think, and I'm just throwing it out there because I really don't know, but I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was presented with a certain situation. Why do you think that people don't get the reaction that they want in some of the most haunted locations around?
I personally think it's all energy, and there's shifts in energy depending on this who's there, what devices they have, what time of the day it is, what
mhm.
moon phase it is, who knows? But I just
Mm,
feel like energy ebbs and flows. We get it a lot where you'll have a period of time that is super intense and then it just turns off, like dies. So it's almost
We've also experienced that sometimes there's certain people they don't want to talk to. They don't want
exactly.
they don't want these people around. When we did the brewery, there's a gentleman that used to live there, and he was the caretaker, and he passed away there, and he's still there, and he does not like me.
Why? You probably drunk up a lot of his beer.
he doesn't like me. He really likes her. He will talk to her. He'll talk to my sister. He'll talk to my stepmom. But if I interject myself into, he goes away.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. And guys, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know. But I think a presentation of one's uh, device will entice a certain spirit to connect with you. Not just the whole respect aspect of it, but how you present yourself to the spirits, I think, can go a long way.
Yeah.
And we all know that respect is the key to everything. If you if you can't look in a man in his eyes, if you can't shake his hand with a firm grip, and and a man senses that, and I think that that's the same way when you're a spirit or a ghost. So the way that you present a device speaks it all. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I was in a haunted location and somebody came to, and it's something that I hear all the time. One thing about paranormal investigators is we always seem to want to say the same thing 30 million freaking times. Can you touch this? Can you touch that? This and that. Dude, no. At some point in our lives, we have to start thinking outside the box. So when we communicate with these people, make it funny. Make them laugh, make them want to interact with you. Because I'm that type of guy. If you coming at me with the same thing, and I've been hearing that day after day after day, weekend after weekend after weekend, and you present something that I've seen multiple times, it's a good chance I'm going to throw that thing down the hallway. I'm just going to be honest with you. Hey, that cat ball, see ya. Hey, Kobe, I made 2 points in the trash can. Or that scare bear. Trust me, I got one. But I bought that thing maybe 2 years ago, and I only heard it go off twice. So if you present that to me, oh, can you touch this scare bear? Yeah, I'm a scared, all right. Boop, bye. Right in the trash can. So I mean, there's too much technology out there for us to actually we don't want to make things simple because they're not making things simple for us. So we got to be able to keep them guessing as much as they keep us guessing. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, paranormal investigators are going to have to start thinking out the box. And I tell this to everybody that comes out to show. Start thinking out the box. Matter of fact, rip that box, rip it up, get rid of it, and start thinking out the box. And I almost guarantee you that the evidence that you want at a certain location, you're going to get.
Mhm.
You're going to get. But in between time, because I was at a Paracon, a West Texas Paracon one day, and I asked, well, maybe 60 people. I asked them, why do y'all say the same thing at every location all across the world? Why do y'all do that? Our voices, our vocabulary is way bigger than that. We have to start thinking and talking unlike each other. Because if we start talking like each other, man, we are going to sound like each other.
Yep.
And to me, that don't make any sense. So let's start ripping that box up, man. Start thinking out of it. Because if we keep containing ourselves in the box, I mean, it's gonna get crowded. It's already crowded now,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know, but it's crowded. You know why? Because everybody's saying the same thing, everybody's doing the same thing, and it's just gonna continue. Hey, I want to be the one outside the box looking at the knuckleheads inside the box and waving, bye, I got you, and walk off because I'm doing things unorthodox, something that the spirits haven't seen before, talking to them a certain way that they understand, and you get that communication back. You because trust me, man, spirits get tired of hearing the same old, picking up the same thing. I'm telling you, the next generation of paranormal investigators come at me with a cat ball, he might get hit upside the head with it. I'm just saying, it would not be nice if that was the case. Now, I'm not saying that cat balls are going to be around that long because people are inventing things every day that can actually help us for our investigations. You know what I'm saying? Me myself, I'm hoping AI would get to a point where it can actually help people investigate.
Yeah.
We never know. I mean, 10, 20 years from now, it could happen.
Look how far we've come in the last 15 to 20 years. So,
Yo, everything get newer, I get older. Is that fair?
no, but I think that's what happens to all of us, I guess.
Oh man, it's tough. I mean, dude, I love my life. You know, things ain't been perfect, but hey, I deal with what I deal with, and I deal with it like a man, and that's all you can do.
Yep.
Provide for your, provide for your wife and your family. Make sure they okay, and just live life to the fullest. And and I think that's what the spirits do. I mean, I really don't think that they're gone. I just think they're walking among us right now.
Yeah.
It's weird, But guys, now early in the show we talked about Hollywood and how you certain shows that are not kids shouldn't kids shouldn't look at because it, it's teaching them wrong how to investigate. Uh, if you had a junior team, if Paranormal Pastime Investigation decide, hey, we're going to go to put a little team together that so we can educate and we can teach these kids to do the things right way for the next generation of paranormal investigators, would you guys do it?
Yeah.
That would be kind of a cool idea, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost paranormal 101.
Yeah, because I'm be honest with you, if you guys look at TikTok, YouTube, some of these Facebook posts that are out there today, things aren't looking too good with this young generation when it comes to paranormal investigation. When them, studying parapsychology 101, and they pretty much take it as a joke. I mean, my son sent me a video of a guy that's actually was in a haunted location or in a residence, and he was talking about fighting a ghost, showing this kid can't be no more than 20, maybe 21. And he was talking about doing this, doing that, fighting the ghost, totally no respect for anyone. And I shake my head and I say, is this what we're coming to now?
Yeah, that's when we go into a location, that is our first and foremost is we don't, I guess we introduce ourselves, then we basically say nothing but respect. We're here to talk, not to provoke. We never provoke. We, like you said, if you show them respect, they'll show it right back and you'll have a better open line of communication, is our viewpoint on it.
Yep. Matter of fact, I am going to, wait a minute. I'm going to send you the link that my son sent me. If I can pull it's, uh, I don't know if you guys got TikTok or not, but this gentleman is called Ghost Food, Foos. And he does and check it out. He has 58.7K likes.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Ghost Food, GHOSTFOOS. And this guy is a freaking idiot. And I'm telling you, man, once you guys see this, you're going to shake your head in disgust. That's how bad it is.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that future paranormal investigators don't do what this guy's doing. He's doing it for clicks and likes. And he has 347 comments on that one little TikTok that he did. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's
And 58.7K likes on it.
So yeah, it's just telling or perpetuating the mindset with the younger generation.
Mm. I feel like our foundation is cracking. I feel like, is there any hope for the younger generation to get things right? If that foundation cracks, something that our paranormal forefathers and foremothers put together way before we were even born, is it okay for them to come along in a generation and just, crack it up and and destroy that foundation? That's something that somebody before us has done. I don't think that's right.
No, and that could potentially make locations either completely shut down or become more violent in nature.
Violent in nature. You're absolutely right. And it's just, is it too late for them? We can save some, like your daughter. We can save many, but it's more far than few.
Yeah.
I don't think, I don't know what the next, I mean, I don't know what holds for the next generation of paranormal investigators. They're going to
Um,
have all, I mean, they're going to have all the technology in the world to be successful, but they don't have the one thing that they need the most: common sense.
Yep.
critical thinking skills.
Right? They're not going to have it. You know, if you guys walk around Walmart and you see these kids, telling their parents, no, I'm not going to totally. Dude, if you're disrespecting your parents, a good chance you're going to disrespect somebody else that's not your parent.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, dude, I got that one hitter quitter. I'll take this. Bang! One hitter quitter. You out of there. One thing my kids did not do is disrespect. It's always yes, sir, no, ma'am. No matter who it was. If you open the door for a lady and she says thank you, you say thank you back. You say you're welcome. Always be respectful. Look a man in his eyes. You look a woman in the eyes, and and that's how they will respect you. But these kids aren't doing that today. The foundation, there are so many cracks. Our foundation is cracking like the way a tree is growing. There's so many branches that are just branching off. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
How do we fix that?
It's a good question because I don't know. It almost has to start in with the families because if, like you said, if you don't disrespect if you disrespect your parents, you're not going to respect any elder. That means in turn you're not going to respect a location or the spirits that are there either. And there's no way to really combat that if the parents don't start getting through to their kids and making them respect at home.
Yep.
Hey, they took discipline out of the homes. You
And
know, they're telling you that you can't discipline your child, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm like, hey, I wish you would. I really wish you would tell me something like that because I got every right to discipline my child. If you're disrespecting, oh my God, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen to you. I know it ain't gonna be good,
get a disrespectful
but
person and then have to pay the consequences.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen either way. Either the parents gonna get you, or somebody out in the streets are gonna get you because they felt like you disrespecting them.
Yep.
So it's something that we really got to be able to think about as a generation of paranormal investigators. How are we to combat this and make it right? Or some people will, some people say, maybe this generation is lost. Let's work on the next after them. Well, like I always tell people, I can't wait around for 200 years to teach somebody how to investigate. My time is limited on this planet. So I'm gonna have to teach you now. Now, if I can't teach you and you're not willing to learn or to listen, the generation, their kids are gonna do the same thing. So you're gonna have a whole two generation of knucklehead paranormal investigators out there doing the craziest things. And like I said, if they ever come messing with me or act from, oh, can you touch that light bulb? Can you touch that? Can you touch this? Yeah, I can touch you upside your head if I wanted to, you know. But it's got to be a point where we got to be able to. These kids got to understand, man. It's all about respect. You know, I swear to God, I heard a 13-year-old tell their mom, "Oh, you're not respecting me." Dude, first of all, you got to learn how to spell the word respect before you get it. If you can't spell it, you're damn sure not gonna get it. You know, so right there, I knew, man, it's gonna be problems. It's gonna be problems. Hey, Laura, I'm gonna ask you this question. Be honest with me, because I know every woman has done it on the planet. Every woman, including my wife. I had to get on her. Do you love garage sales and estate sales? Do you go to places like that?
I usually didn't, but we were coming home from a funeral the other day and I spotted something I wanted for our grandkids, so I had to stop.
Now, do you think that's safe? Do you think that's safe?
Safe.
Hmm.
He was with me, so
No, what I mean about safe, I mean, do you think that's safe to give something, if it's not store bought or brand new, is it safe to give to your grandkids if it came from a garage sale or an estate sale?
safe as in spiritually or
Yes,
cleanliness?
yes, spiritually.
Spiritually, uh, it was it was just for a little baby, so I'm hoping that it's okay.
And
Hmm. Now,
it's at our house.
It's not at our
here.
grandkids'
It's
house.
here.
okay, yeah, because I found out that is to be one of the biggest reasons why there are hauntings in residential communities. People have the estate sales. Somebody passed away. Somebody that passed away is attached to a certain item, but nobody knows it. So that certain item gets sold to another location. It goes to that location. Next thing you know, you got yourself a haunting. Okay. And when you go to a garage sale, same thing. Might have been my favorite plastic plant, but that don't mean I want you to give it away.
A girl I work at
Keep it.
will not buy anything resale because she's afraid of what she might bring into her house.
Yeah. So, uh, man, that is one of the biggest no-nos, I think so, as for anybody, not just a particular paranormal investigator, but dude, never go to garage sales, estate sales, Salvation Army, Goodwill, Habitat. Those four places, man, sometimes you go in one of those, you can just feel the energy. Like, oh man, something's in here. Something's attached to something in this location. And you can't help but turn around and walk out because you don't, it's a good chance. Whatever you sense, or, most likely you're going to gravitate to it. So now you got yourself a situation. And you really don't want that. So I urge people, don't, if you want something, spend that extra $2. Go to Five Below. If it's for your kids, grandkids, spend that extra $5. Go get them something new because you never know. I've heard so many stories. Oh, well, I just went to my uh, garage sale around the corner and I picked up this doll for my
That's how
granddaughter.
movies start.
That's how
See,
the movie start. You're right.
now I'm gonna have to go get the priest from down the road to come bless the garbage truck that we got.
There you go. You're gonna have to. I mean, that's And all else fails, man, if we can avoid that, please do, guys. Because to me, better safe than sorry. I'd rather see your house protected than some little beady eyed person hanging out the closet. Or you see yourself levitating 4 feet above your bed because you bought the bed frames from a garage sale and the person that used to be in that bed don't want you in it. And you see yourself levitating 4 feet above it, and that's not good either. That is not good. I've never seen a levitation, but I would love to see one. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
yeah,
you.
man. Okay. Hey guys, couple more questions, and I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Rich, have you had dinner yet?
Yeah,
What'd you eat?
we actually had pizza.
Pizza on a Sunday.
Pizza. Yep.
Whatever happened to a Sunday dinner, Laura? We're
We're
gonna
getting
talk
ready
about
for vacation,
Yeah.
so we've been running around like busy all day. So
Yep. Tomorrow morning we leave for vacation, so
where you guys headed to.
we're actually just headed down to Steelville, Missouri to
To
go
do
camping.
some camping.
Yep.
Well, the last you told me that the last time I talked to when I first talked to you, and I was hoping that you guys would come to Texas.
Yep.
But it's okay. Couple more questions. I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Uh, First question is this is not more of a question, it's more of a story. How long you guys been married?
thir-
One
13
13,
years.
so 13 years, yeah.
13 years. So Laura, you know Rich up and down, head to toe. You know everything about him, his mood swings, how he feel in the morning, and all that stuff, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, okay, cool. All right, we're gonna put a pause on you for a minute, and we're gonna talk to Rich. Rich, are you retired?
No.
So you still got a 9 to 5?
Yep.
Is it a 9 to 5, 62, 30, 11? What's your work schedule?
I'm salary, so I work until the job's done. That's what HR told me.
Damn HR, boy. People say HR. You know what? HR really don't help anybody else but themselves.
No. I work from home a lot. I travel. I'm a regional director, so like when I talked to you, I was in Seattle. I have
Right, right.
a lot of the West Coast. So being Central Time Zone, I when I'm home, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
That gives me my time before the West Coast gets up because they don't get up until they don't start work until 9 my time. So I get those 3 hours to get done what I got to get done. But
Hmm.
then in the evenings, I shut things down. But I still get phone calls till about 7 o'clock at night.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna have to change this up a little bit. Laura, what's your favorite food to eat or for to cook for Richard when he wants a home cooked meal?
Mm, Probably like roast and mashed potatoes and
Damn,
green
dude, you
beans.
eat better than I do. What the hell, man? I like to come where you at. All right. Well, your favorite food is spaghetti. You like spaghetti?
Yeah,
You like spaghetti cooked in the oven or on top of the oven?
on top.
Oh, you like cornbread with your spaghetti?
We usually eat garlic bread with spaghetti, but I love cornbread.
Ah, okay. Well, Rich, we're going to change up your whole routine and just play along with me, sir. And we're just going to go along.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you work 9 to 5. Now, the story starts is one morning you get up and you decided that, nah, maybe I do want to go to work. Maybe I don't. But you decide that you want to go to work. So you get up and go to work. You go through your morning routine. You kiss your wife goodbye and say, hey, I'll see you later. You get in your car or your truck, and you head off to work, which is about 20 minutes from the house, and you go through your day. Now you get back. How bad are them red lights down there in Missouri? Are they pretty bad?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you gotta wait? Do you gotta wait about 40 minutes before they go through their whole cycle?
It feels like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you getting off work and you had a pretty rough day, man. Uh, you get in your truck and you get to your first red light and you're just sitting there listening to the music and you look to the left and you see this light coming at you. You don't know what it is. You just thought, it's just a bright light. And it came and it just went right through you. And you're like, oh shit, what the hell was that, man? It kind of startled you, but it concerns you in the meantime because a lot of people don't see that. So the whole 40 minutes cycle of the lights go through, and you're driving home, and you go through just like any other man. There's something that we can't understand or we can't figure out. It's going to bother us until we do figure it out. Until that's just we're men. That's just what we do. Okay, so Laura meets you at the door. Does she meet you at the door?
Yeah. I'm usually home, so she meets me. I meet her at the door.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay, so Laura meets you at the door. You come in and you give her a kiss, but Laura noticed something about you. She noticed that you are not really upset, but you are a little uneased because what you've just experienced 20 minutes later. So you go through your routine when you get off work, you poop, shower, and shave, and by that then dinner is done. Now when you're off, do you stay up late or do you go to bed early?
Uh, kind of early. Or when I'm
Okay.
off, or when
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah, I mean when you off for the weekend.
Oh, for the weekend, I usually stay up later.
Okay, but for this instance, you went to bed early, and that was a little unusual for Laura because, like you say, you go to bed late on the weekend. So she's kind of wondering what's going through you. So she asks you, she's like, "What's going on?" And you say, "Oh, nothing. Ain't nothing I can't handle." Okay, are you a light sleeper or a hard sleeper?
Hard sleeper.
Okay, now when people usually have something on their minds, I usually sleep pretty late. Sometimes I toss and turn. Are you the same way? If something's on your mind?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So you tossed and turned that night and you actually kicked Laura in the leg. So she reached over and popped you and like, hey, quit kicking me. But it didn't bother you. So the next morning, which was Saturday morning, you got up. Do you sleep in or do you
No,
get up pretty early?
I'm usually pretty early.
Okay. Well, you got up early, unusual early. And so Laura's still asleep. You had the same thought on your mind. It's like, oh man, I got to get this off my mind. Have you ever had that type of pressure that's on you? It make you feel like your chest is caving in, but it make you feel like it's a heart attack, but it's not really. It's just uh, what can I say? Oh, gas. You ain't never had that pressure where you just got to get that gas off of you. It's sort of like
Well,
that.
yeah. If I got, yeah,
But
somewhat, but not
if
really anxiety wise, not really.
Okay, well, let's say anxiety. You got this anxiety, but something is telling you, Richard, I gotta go. You gotta go to not Walmart. You gotta go to Home Depot, but you don't know why you want to go to Home Depot. So you get in your car, your truck, and you tell Laura, it's like, hey, I gotta go to Home Depot, and you're like, what the hell you need to go to Home Depot for? There, you don't need anything. Like, okay, well, my mom is telling me to go, so I gotta go. So you went to Home Depot and you spent. Have you ever went to a store and you thought for a minute, and you just like you want to buy it, but you don't know why you want to buy it, or it's just something that you want to have because it's something that you just want to have. It does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you
I
picked up,
walk in a store all the time and things grab my attention. So
so you went to the store, you picked up a light switch, you picked up some other odds and ends, but you don't know why. A couple of screws. Are you a tool man? Do you got a lot of tools?
yeah,
Do you have a basement or a garage?
yep.
You
Both.
got both?
I got
Damn, I
both.
need to move to man. I need to move to Missouri. If you got both, one can be my man cave, and I can actually park my car in the other one.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you get to everything you need, and you headed back to the house. And at that time, I think what Home Depot opens up at like 7 or 8. So you spend a couple of minutes there. So you get back like 9:30 a.m. And Laura's is up waiting for you, because she's trying to figure out what's going on with you. Just like any other wife who's very, if you're not doing your routine or what you do, then they're going to ask questions about it. You know what I'm saying? Just the way women are. And so you get back and she asks you, "Hey, Rich, is everything okay? How you doing?" She got that big old band-aid on her leg because you scratched her the following night, but she's good. She's good. So he's like, I'm gonna head down to the basement and I'm gonna do some things. Call me or come down if you need me. So you do that, and you got this blueprint in your head, Richard. So you go grab some tools and you start tinkering with things. You got some wire over here. You got some bolts and stuff over there, and you start putting stuff together. By that time, man, it's 4:30. You just didn't think how fast time flies, but when you're busy, it really flies. You know what I'm saying? So 4:30 comes, Laura comes down and she's like, "Well, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I got this thing together." And she looks at it and she's like, "Well, what is it?" And he's like, I don't know. Well, she said, "Well, Laura, what time you cook dinner? I mean, what time is dinner done?"
Probably like 5.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
I have to
Wow.
get really early.
Wow. I wish I could get my dinner at 5 o'clock. You lucky, Richard. So, okay, we're going to skip forward. At 7 o'clock, you come back down, you tell them, hey, dinner is ready. And by that time, which another 2 hours has passed away, you got this device is sitting on the table. I mean, hey, you know what? Sitting on the pool table. I, hell, I didn't even know you had a pool table, Richard. You didn't tell me
Yeah,
nothing.
I didn't know either.
You didn't tell me anything about this, man. I could have been there, went up there, and hung out with you and drunk some Bush beer and played some pool all night long. But so she looks down at it and she say, "Well, what is it?" And you're like, I don't know." But women are the ones. Women are more curious to men. I think so. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
Yeah, I think women are a little bit more curious than men. Uh, so Laura went to the pool table and she picks it up and she's like, "What is this switch over here?" And I think I have a little bit on what it might look like. Where'd it go? Well, I don't know where it went. It was sitting right here. I might have put it up. But anyway, We'll use this, but it's a little bit bigger than this, and it's literally sitting right there on the pool table. So Laura grabs it and see that switch right there, and Laura said, "What the hell? I'm gonna cut this thing on if it has a switch. It can't hurt me. It's something you built, so I know it's not gonna hurt me." So she hit that switch and put it on the table. Have you guys ever seen a projector when it comes on? It shoots that clear white thing from the lens. Same
Yep.
thing. This happened the same way. The only difference is when it opened up and it shot a beam right into your wall, but it didn't go through the wall. When it hit the wall, it expanded. It expanded to the size of a normal sized basketball. So you look at Laura. Laura looked at you and was like, "Dude, what did you hell did you invent?" And you like, "I don't know." And but when things got clearer, guys, you were able to see when y'all walked up to it. Y'all were able to see things. You know, man, there was a Starbucks over there. There's a Randall's over there, Walmart, KFC, Amy's, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. If somebody wants chicken and waffles, uh, it's a whole community. People walking on like every hey, there's a bank over there too. People coming in and out that bank like it's nothing. And so you guys are looking into another reality. Now, this is the same reality that me and you and millions of others are going to have to go to eventually. And the weirdest thing is you're sitting there, Richard, and you catch somebody's eye, and you look, and they were like, "Hi, Richard, how you doing?" You looked around and like, "Who in the heck? What? Who is this?" And Laura's like, "Yeah, who is that woman?" And I'm like, "Uh oh, I don't want to get involved in that one." So anyway, you waved back, and she was like, "Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna come over there." So she went to the next store, got some groceries, came back. You guys was waiting. This woman actually jumped into your reality and says, "Hey, Richard, how you doing? It's been a long time." Came up, gave you a big fat kiss on your cheek, gave Laura a big fat kiss on her cheek because she knew who she was. And have you ever had that feeling when you just know that someone is related to you? It's just one of those feelings where it has to be right. The moons have to be aligned. The stars and the planet have to be everything has to be right. But you know when there's a relative next to you because they look like you, they smell like you, y'all feel the same things. She does the same things that you do. It's just like it feels like family. So she comes in, she gives you a kiss, she asks you how things are going, and she grabs you by your hand, and you guys go sit at the the bar that you guys got down there. Damn, you got a bar too? What the hell, man? And y'all just start having a conversation. And she was like, "Hey, man, granddad is doing okay. Man, it is. I mean, we are doing so good. I don't want you to worry about us. This and that. Everything is so perfect." And at that point, Laura had an idea on who it was. So she's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to leave you two guys to talk." So she goes back upstairs and check on the spaghetti that she's cooking in the oven. So you guys talk, and the person that you was talking to was like, "Hey, it's not your time yet. But when it's your time to come, we will come for you. But in the meantime, enjoy your life. Enjoy every aspect of your life. Leave nothing unturned whatsoever. But until that day, we will be with you. Just like all the other family members that are here, we are watching you. We are making sure that you make the right decisions in life. Whether you think it's wrong, whether you think it's right, we're going to make sure that you pick the right one. You know what I'm saying? And and at that time, I think you starting to realize, Richard, on who she was. A lot of people don't know much about our ancestors that are 3 and 4 generations gone already. We've never seen pictures. We don't know what they look like, but you have an idea. You knew that was your great, 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 great grandmother. You could tell by the way she dressed, the way she talked, the way she acted, and so on and so on. Because people like 4 generations ago is not going to dress like people today. You're definitely going to be out of place. I mean, as much as retro as it might be, yeah, I don't think so. So as time gets by, she told you who she was, and you was like shocked in amazement, and you were like, Grandma, like a little kid in a candy factory. You gave her a big old hug and a big old kiss, and you're like, man, I've never had the opportunity to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And she said, son, you was never supposed to meet me. It wasn't in your cards to meet me. But like I said, let you know that we are here for you. Your grandfather is here, your grandmother, and all your family members that has gone before me, they're here also, and they're watching, and they're keeping an eye on you. So let you know. Don't tell the grandkids because they probably won't believe you. But tell the think to yourself, hey, they're watching the grandkids also, and they protect family like they should. So, but she looks at her watch. It's like, oh man, I gotta get home, cook dinner for Grandpa, and make sure he's good to go. So he walks. So she gets up. She gives you a big fat kiss, and she said, "Hey, tell Laura that we love her and welcome to the family. She has my last name now, so she's a part of the family now." So she actually gets up, backs up into her reality, waves goodbye, blow a kiss at you, and walks off. You stood there with astonishment. You're like, what the hell just happened? And all of a sudden, Laura comes down and say, "Oh hell, where did Grandpa go? I mean, Grandma go?" She's like, she had to go. So instead of you reaching over there and cutting off the device, Laura shut the device off. And both of y'all are staring at that device, and you're like, "Oh snap! What the hell, Richard? What the hell did you just build?" You're like, "I don't know." Again, because you really don't know what you were building until you built it. So the moral to this story, or not the moral, the answer, I mean, the question to this story is, Richard, now that you know that device that you built, you now know what it does. What are you going to do with it?
Hmm. Uh, that's a really good question. I don't know. It's kind of what we do when we're investigating. So trying to talk to the other people. So I mean, I can use it for good, to kind of help people with stuff. So I mean,
Wait a minute. I forgot to tell you. This is a family owned thing.
oh, it's a family.
So nobody outside the family can know.
Ah,
Only you can contact your family members. Other people outside the family can't use it to contact their family member because you
oh,
remember when you was at that red light and
yeah,
that hit you.
Yep.
That was just family members giving you the knowledge to be able to communicate with them. So everything that they've given you, all that knowledge that they're giving you to build this is gone. You built the device, it's gone now. So if let's say if you wanted to patent it or to be able to duplicate it, you wouldn't even know where to start.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'd probably put it away until I felt I needed it again.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
if an opportunity presented itself, that I maybe needed help or I needed, some kind of
Guidance.
yeah, any kind of stuff like that. I mean, that's probably when I would bring it out. I mean,
Hmm. Okay. Now, Laura, what would you think about the device? Since technically you are part of the family.
Um, I'd probably be using it every day trying to talk to people, honestly, because I always intrigued about like family history and genealogy and all sorts of stuff. So I'd be trying to reach out and get to know the family members gone before me, I guess.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
see, and that's why she runs everything. I just build it. That's all. I
Right?
don't.
Now, how do you think would you share this with your kids?
Probably because it could mean that they could meet family members that were gone before they were
Yep.
born.
Hmm.
Just to get more perspective.
Yeah.
Mm, interesting. Okay. Well, you know what? So one will use it, Laura will use it, and you will put it on the shelf, Rich, until you get ready to use it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I respect that. Now, let's do a little reverse psychology on that. Let's twist things up. Let's say that you could share it, you could patent it, you could duplicate it. Do you think the world would be ready for such a device?
No,
No, I don't think so.
Mm. Now, what do you think would happen if you did decide to develop it into a commercial nice device where you can see on eBay or Amazon, anybody can order it anytime they want. How do you think this world would be right now?
I think people that could kind of get caught up and almost obsessed with it. So, like, if they lose a family member, it could almost become an addiction trying to go and talk to them and see them because they miss them so much because of grief.
Now, would you think that would take the grieving process of the death out for the simple fact and all you got to do is flip on a device and you can see your loved one right there, just like you said.
I think that it would actually compound it because they're not going to be able to move on with their life.
It would just
It-
make it
it's-
last longer.
It's the grief is going to be there constantly, and they're not going to be able to move on and start to live their life, the way that they're supposed to.
Hmm. Okay. Now, do people ever carry on with their life when they're grieving after the loss of a loved one?
They carry on with their day to day, but I almost feel like a part of them is not there, so they still don't live their life to the fullest necessarily until they've moved past that.
Do they ever move past that? What do you guys think on that?
Some people do, some people don't. I've witnessed both.
Yeah, I've actually lost my brother a few years back, and my mother still has a difficulty with it. So, but my other brother and myself, I wouldn't say we moved on, but you
You don't forget them,
You
but you
don't,
learn
yeah,
to cope.
you learn to deal with it, and you progress with your life.
Yeah. You know, um, I lost my wife 2 years ago, and I don't think and be honest with you, 35, 34 years, three kids, I'm never gonna. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop grieving. I'm gonna grieve myself. I'll probably grieve the rest of my life.
Yep.
I would never get remarried. I still have my wedding ring on to this day. People ask me why, and I'm like, to death do us part. And I'm gonna continue wearing this until it's my time to go,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna wear it then. But hey, guys, this whole story that I'm sharing with you, uh, it tells me a little bit about the human race and the possibilities that what they're capable of and what they would do to reach out to loved ones. Some of them would say yes, some of them would say no, but ultimately it's up to you if you want to open that box or not.
Mhm.
A lot of people, when I tell that story to a lot of people don't realize if you open Pandora's box, it can be bad for you.
Yep.
When I tell people, okay, now if you think that the world is not ready for it, let's say the world, if no matter what, if you think the world is ready for it and it's out, what do you think the religious aspect of it would be? What do you think the fallout would be from the religious standpoint? Everything that is talked about in the Bible, you might as well just throw that out the window now because we got a device that can prove otherwise.
Yep.
Uh, and how do you think if the world ain't ready for that, will they ever be?
Probably not.
No, I don't. You know.
I don't. I don't think they will. Have you guys ever seen Men in Black?
Yeah.
The main character, when they were sitting on that bench, do you remember the quote that he said that kind of
No,
messed people up?
it's been a while.
He says, he said, it's the human race because Will Smith wanted him to tell the world on what's going on. Or he asked him, does the world know what's going on? And he asked him, I think that people are ready. He said, people might be ready, but the human race would never be. Because people sometimes can think, but the human race as a whole, destruction, wars, famine, so many other terrible things over some of the simplest things. Man, I've seen two countries go to war over a woman. I've seen two people go over war over a strip of land that's no bigger than going from across the street. So imagine if a device like that, can you imagine what would happen? How religions would crumble? And to me, I think religion is the only thing that holding us together as a society. I might be wrong. I don't know. But in my views, that's what I think. And not having that type of uh, you know, foundation, like we're talking about the kids, it's gonna crumble. It's gonna crack. And once it crack, it's gonna just fall apart. And once that fall apart, everything else does. So, Richard, I'm like you. I'll probably put that thing on the shelf and just share it just for me and can't tell nobody else because Not only is your family at stake if you put it out, the world is going to be at stake. And like Laura said, they're not ready. I don't know if they ever will be. You know what I'm saying? The technology like that, oh no. Hey man, I will open that thing up and talk to my grandparents as much as I can. I'll be like Laura, learn as much as I can. Get all the cooking recipes, man. Grandma's cookies. Hey, I'll get it all. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I just want to share that little story with you. Last question. I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Laura, where this is a doozy. It's a hard one.
Oh boy.
Where would you like to go on your paranormal bucket list? Anywhere in the world. Where would you like to go?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. Um, Panicking. Paris catacombs.
The catacombs. Yeah. You know, I have a hard time believing that all those people down there are actually real. What do you think?
I know that like part of it is set up where they give the tours. It wasn't
Mhm.
much like that. They built them up, but I think it's all plague victims because they had so many deaths. But
Mm,
I don't know
interesting.
if they arranged them in a certain way to make it look like the whole area is full like that, which it isn't. But
But you know what, man? If that was me, I would do DNA testing to find out who these people are and send them home if they
yeah,
are real.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Any other place you would like to go besides there?
Well, there's a lot. I really want to do like Trans Allegheny, Brushy Mountain, um, St. Augustine Lighthouse. There's all sorts of places.
Okay, well, we're gonna leave no stone unturned for you. We just want to go. Richard, you got to pay for all this. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
Okay, Rich, where would you like to go on your bucket list?
Um, I think I the one place, and it's a combination of reasons, but going over to Edinburgh.
Edinburgh,
Yeah.
mm, the home of William Wallace,
Yep.
allegedly. Do you guys think he existed?
I think so,
Yeah.
but I think it may have been a lesser role, and he was more.
There's an exaggerated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm,
I'll ask him. He's on my sales conference on Fridays, so
oh, really?
there's a salesman named William Wallace. There's a salesman named William Wallace on my sales conference. So
Oh, wow, that is something else. Okay, well, guys, tell the world how to get a hold of Paranormal Pastime Investigations from Washington, Missouri.
Hit us up on Facebook. You can do private message or just like our fan page. Just basically post a lot of funny paranormal memes, and sometimes we upload when we do go investigate.
Okay, okay. Oh, you guys are on TikTok, Twitch, any of those other platforms, or just on Facebook?
We've got Twitter. Haven't really been on there a whole lot lately though. But
Mm.
we're
What about
we're so we're not the TikTok generation really.
I'm not TikTok.
what about Instagram?
I don't. I, I don't think we have Instagram. We
No.
probably should. We probably should put something over on
We're
there.
slacking.
Okay, well, hey, no problems, no problems. Hey, you get that younger generation to get you guys going.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
have to put kids on that.
I'll have to put the daughter in charge of that one.
there you go. Well, guys, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I really appreciate you coming out of your busy schedule to chat with us. I really appreciate it. I wish you guys nothing but success
Thank you.
with your journey through. your paranormal investigations, and be careful and just enjoy the moment, because the minute you blink your eye, it's gone, and that's something you can never get back. So I'm not telling you don't blink your eyes, but I'm just telling I'm just saying, guys, just enjoy the moment that you guys are together, and every moment, every moment, no matter what you guys do. It's one of those things that you can cherish for a lifetime. Trust me, 34 years, and if I had it my way, it would have been another 34. But the powers that be chose to take her away, and that's something that I'm just gonna have to deal with. In the meantime, she gave me something that no other woman ever gave me. She gave me three crazy, but some of the best kids I could ever have. The only kids I ever have, But so she left me with that, and I gotta continue raising them, even though they're grown already. You just gotta continue raising them till, well, hell, until it's your time to go. Because no matter how old they are, they would never be as old as you, and they would never know as much as you. So you steady teaching them as time goes on. But in the meantime, uh, feel free to share this uh, podcast with any and everybody. Uh, and like I say, I wish you guys a lot of success. And once I get done with here, I think I'm gonna upload some reels from this particular podcast, and you can put on your Facebook if you like.
Okay.
Well,
You can, huh?
thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. No problem at all. But with that said, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy your Sunday, and go have some milk and cookies.
Sounds
Will
good.
do.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV. Tonight you're in Washington, Missouri, visiting Paranormal Pastime Investigations. If you guys want to go check him out, feel free to do so. Just go to Paranormal Pastime Investigations on the Facebook. Check him out. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button, and let's get these numbers up for these guys, man. In the meantime, peace. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Stay out. Hey, Rich, stay out of trouble.
I'll try.
Bye.
Bye.
You think you know me, don't you? You think you've seen the worst, like you've already crushed me beneath your heel. That's what you all thought, right? That I was done for. That I'd just disappear, fade into the dust like a forgotten whisper. Like I didn't matter. Like I wasn't a threat. You made me. This. You fed the darkness. Stoked the flames. Every betrayal. Every hit. Every time you kicked me down. You gave me the fuel to become something else. Something you can't outrun. Can't hide from. And sure as hell, can't stop.